Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night Fights. And Wednesday at K.O.W Last Stand, there was a huge incident that happened backstage after we went off air from Last Stand. Ivory West, who hasn't been seen yet here in K.O.W, ambushing the K.O.W Women's Champion backstage for who even knows what purpose, but what we do know is that she, as you can see, just attacking the women's champion after we went off air, long after the women's title match had already concluded. And we're not sure at the moment what caused this attack. I mean, this is literally just an attack that came from out of nowhere by Ivory West on Faye. And of course, Ivory West, it's no secret that she has been very disappointed lately that she hasn't seen any action, and perhaps this just caused her to go insane and attack the women's champion for no reason. But we can say at this time that Faye will not be on the show tonight due to some injuries she suffered backstage, and we hope for a speedy recovery from Faye after this vicious and brutal assault by Ivory West backstage. And of course, you know, Faye, it did fight back even in the slightest. As you can see, she is, of course, fighting back a bit against Ivory in this backstage. Things did kind of turn around, but of course, ultimately, Ivory did end up taking things back in her favor. And as you can see, this was not one-sided. However, of course, nothing can change the fact that this did happen, and unfortunately, while we will continue showing you what happened backstage, we at this time cannot say whether or not Faye will be back on the show anytime soon. And ladies and gentlemen, we, of course, have now begun our show. And just ever so sad news. I'm sorry for my silence because I was getting a lot of information just now about the attack and aftermath of the attack just after we went off air from Last Stand on Wednesday. I can now confirm that, yes, everything you did hear from me is 100% true. But also I can now say that Faye has suffered from a concussion and several fractured ribs. She is expected to be out at least until the end of January. And she has made the request to General Manager Sherman that she not be stripped of her K.O.W Women's Championship until at least February, which General Manager Sherman has granted her the ability to hold on to that title. But now the question really is, what will become of the title? We will have to find out soon. But for now, we wish Faye Obey and her family happy thoughts through this, and we wish Faye a speedy recovery. Anyway, this match tonight, tag team title implications. #1 contendership match for those tag team titles. Of course, the Sages of Savagery successful in their defense against the Neon Knights, which requires new #1 contenders be crowned. Now, Hunter Faze was originally planned to be in the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the heavyweight title. However, he went to General Manager Sherman and said he didn't like his odds in that match. And so he asked if he could switch spots with Gustavo Loso, who had already agreed that it would be fine. And so General Manager Sherman allowed it. And so tonight, instead of Hunter Faze, Zachary East, David Rike, and David Bowe in the Fatal 4-Way, it will instead be Gustavo Loso, David Rike, Zachary East, and David Bowe in the Fatal 4-Way. So anyway, now that all of the sad news is out of the way, let's get started on some tag team division action, as we are looking to crown some new #1 contenders. And I'm sure Hunter Faze and Ethan Scade would love to have a little bit of tag team gold. Now, the only team with any actual experience teaming together is, of course, Austin Tork, who has teamed with Kane before. And now Austin finds himself hung up in the Tree of Woe. And now Hunter goes for the pin. Only a 1 count on Austin Tork. And Austin Tork moves out of the way. And now Hunter Faze takes him up and over for a big suplex. Oh, and a big elbow onto the knee of Austin Tork. And now Hunter just sending him into his corner. And tags in the ever-confident Ethan Scade. Drop hold, toe hold into a big elbow into the back. But Austin quickly jumps to make the tag. Ethan Scade turns it around. And a big enziguri. And now Ethan Scade. Oh! Huge implanted DDT. And now it is Ethan Scade getting himself pumped up. And now Kane. No. Yes, Kane is now in control. I was going to say he's in trouble, but he's actually in control now. Oh, Kane turning things around on Ethan Scade. Ethan Scade now turning them around on Kane. Oh, he plants him into the mat. Goes for the pin. Only a 1 count for Ethan Scade. Proceeds to tag in Hunter Faze. with a huge punch straight to the head. And now, oh, big foot straight to the sternum of Kane. And Hunter now picks him up and puts him down off the power slam. Goes for the pin off the power slam. 1. Only a 1 count for Hunter Faze. And now begins tearing at the face of Kane, who fights his way out. Oh, big punch to the face. And now it is Hunter who turns it around. Punch to the back. And now it's Hunter who picks Kane up for a big choke slam. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count for Hunter Faze. Now he picks up Kane. Oh, huge pop-up spine buster. Goes for the pin. 1. Not even a 2 count, thanks to Austin Tork, who breaks it up. Ethan quickly, though, putting Austin Tork out of action, but Kane fights his way out from Hunter Faze. And now Hunter fights his way out from Kane. And now Hunter going up top, perhaps some high-risk offense, but will it give high reward? It does. Big elbow to the heart. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Still no number 1 contenders yet. And a big kick to the back. Kane feeding off of it, though. And now, underarm DDT. Goes for the pin off the underarm DDT. 1, 2, 3. Kane and Austin Tork win and become the new number 1 contenders to the Tag Team Championships. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event. It is a fatal 4-way elimination match for the number 1 contendership to the K.O.W Championship. Now, this man, Gustavo Loso, technically speaking, he shouldn't even be in this match. I mean, he had a qualifying match for the last spot at Last Stand against another man who's in this match, David Bowe. But as we learned earlier tonight, Hunter Faze asked him if he wanted to trade his spot in the tag team title number 1 contendership match for a shot in the K.O.W heavyweight title fatal 4-way match. And obviously, Gustavo Loso, being the smart human being he is, said yes, because who wouldn't want a shot at the biggest prize in all of K.O.W, the K.O.W Heavyweight Championship. And so, here he is, competing in that fatal 4-way match for the K.O.W Heavyweight Championship, even though he lost the qualifying match per se Wednesday on K.O.W Last Stand. Now, this fatal 4-way match is an elimination match, which means the first person to get a pinfall or submission, or rather, if somebody gets a pinfall or submission, that person who is pinned or submitted will lose and will have to go backstage. The last one left, after all other competitors have been eliminated, will be the number 1 contender to the K.O.W Heavyweight Championship. However, the 3 competitors who don't win this match will automatically move on to a elimination triple threat match Sunday to determine the number 1 contender to the Infinite Championship. Of course, Adam Mays holds that title, and this man, Zachary East, is very familiar with. Zachary East was put in this match by General Manager Sherman because a long time ago, he could have been number 1 contender to the Infinite title. But due to David Rike, yet another man in this match tonight, tricking him into giving up his number one contendership, he never got that title shot. And so General Manager Sherman has given him the opportunity he should have had long ago tonight in this fatal four-way. And now, the third participant in this fatal four-way making his way down to the ring. The man who actually won the right to be in this match. The one and only fan favorite, David Bowe. All of the fans believe that he is the man to win this fatal four-way elimination match. Take on his former tag team partner in Dylan Styles. And maybe, just maybe, become K.O.W Heavyweight Champion. But he has to get through 3 other men tonight first. And the question is, can he do it? He had a shot in the K.O.W Heavyweight Tournament, and it slipped through his fingers. He had a shot to be added to the K.O.W Infinite title match before Last Stand, and it slipped through his fingers. Will tonight be another story of slipping through his fingers again? This man plans on making that a reality. Because it was just 2 weeks ago that David Rike and David Bowe went one-on-one to determine whether or not David Bowe would be added to the Infinite title match. It was David Rike who would beat David Bowe in that match to ensure David Bowe stayed out of the Infinite title match. So tonight, will we see David Bowe get justice for the loss he took? Or does this man, David Rike, plan on making his way to the K.O.W Heavyweight Championship? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out in tonight's main event. And you're not going to want to miss Sunday showdowns because of the fact that not only do we have our main event of the triple threat match for the number one contendership to the Infinite title, but we will also hear some sort of announcement or news concerning the women's championship's future now that Faye O'Bay has been brutally assaulted by Ivory West. All that and more on Sunday. So you're not going to want to miss that. And so, here we go. Only one man in this match has ever held championship gold. Only one man in this match has ever come close to being tag team champions. Only one man in this match has ever been cheated out of his number one contendership. And only one man in this match has nothing to lose. And right off the bat, it is David Rike attacking the man who he's fought before in Zachary East. And a rematch from K.O.W Last Stand is David Bowe taking on Gustavo Loso. And David Rice is quickly on the attack with Zachary East, trying to eliminate his opponent so he can become K.O.W Heavyweight Champion perhaps in the future, or even have the chance to call himself that. And a huge knee lift from Gustavo Loso. And Zachary East going out to meet David Rike, which was a bad idea. And David Rike continuing to work that head and neck of Zachary East. Oh, big knee to the face. And right off the bat, David Rike going after the table. And now it is Zachary East finally fighting back off of David Rike. Sends David Rike into the ring. David Rike stopping Zach dead in his tracks. And now it is David Bowe focusing on David Rike. And a big Hurricane Rana, and David Rike makes his way out of the ring. But David Rike, once again, baiting his target out, dropping him right on his head on the outside. And David Bowe now attacking David Rike after what he did, costing him the Infinite title chance. And Zachary East, a big suplex. Oh, it is just chaos with people everywhere. As David Bowe, big inverted suplex on Gustavo Loso. And of course, everyone wants a piece of David Rike, who puts David Bowe down, and now he sits in the middle of the ring, reigning supreme. And now David Rike waiting to choose his spot. Wait, he takes it on Gustavo Loso. Big code breaker. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count on Gustavo Loso. And now picks up Gustavo. Perhaps he's looking for it. But he doesn't go for it thanks to David Bowe. Back on the attack on Zachary East, who turns it around on David Rike. Oh, big knee right to the chin of David Rike. And now David Rike now taking advantage of Zachary East. But Zachary East quickly turning it around on David Rike. And now Zach has control of David Rike. Chaos happening all over the place. The announce table still destroyed. Oh, and Zachary East just working the leg of David Rike. But David Rike now taking advantage once again. Oh, huge suplex. And now David Rike going up top perhaps on Zachary East. Oh, big clothesline on the outside. Oh, and David Bowe quickly shutting down David Rike. And now the target becomes David Rike. Oh, David Rike sends David Bowe into the ring steps. Now it is David Rike who is after Zachary East. Perhaps. Or even Gustavo Loso. And now Zachary East taking advantage of David Rike. And it is David Rike who fights his way out. Big chop block to the knee. And it is now David Bowe who attacks David Rike. David Rike seems to be the primary target here. Oh, right into that turnbuckle. And now David Rike, David Bowe turns it around and now sends him into the ring. And now Zach takes advantage. Back and forth, these two just beating down David Rike with everything they've got. Again into the ring post goes David Rike. And now David Bowe turns on Zachary East, who now makes David Bowe pay for it. And David Rike crawling away while David Bowe and Zachary East fight each other. And now David Rike perhaps looking for something. And now the ref taking the bat away from David Rike. Oh, and a big inverted suplex from David Bowe. And now David Bowe, Irish whipping David Rike, and a huge Hurricane Rana. And now it is David Rike. Slithers back in after David Bowe comes out. Now David Rike. Oh, working that knee of David Bowe. Goes for the pin. One. Only a 1 count. And now David Rike makes his way out. And just showboats. And now David Rike just watches. Oh! Huge lung blower from Zachary East. Could that be all? 1, 2. Only a 2 count. And David Rike watched it all go down. Huge knee lift onto David Bowe. And now perhaps David Rike looking for something of significance. And now Zachary East has David Rike up. Oh, big snake eyes in the corner. And now David Rike slides back in. And a huge DDT onto Zachary East. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. And now David Rike sends Zachary East into the ring post and a big drop kick. And a huge clothesline onto David Bowe. Picks up David Bowe. Huge code breaker. Huge code breaker. Huge code breaker. Perhaps he's going to look for the Rike's fall. Perhaps it is. It is. He's going to go for it. Rike's fall. Rike's fall. 1, 2, 3. Now all that's left, Zachary East and David Rike. David Rike is exhausted. And now David Rike escaping Zachary East. Makes his way to the outside. Now Zach sending him back in. Oh, clubbing blow. Followed up with a big kick to the side of the head. And Zachary East now showboating here. Perhaps he feels he will get vengeance. But it is David Rike who quickly capitalizes and turns it around. But Zachary East turns it around. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. And Zachary East just won himself the K.O.W Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership. And ladies and gentlemen, there is some controversy to be had here, because David Rike had clearly grabbed the rope to break up the count, but the ref didn't see it. I'm not sure what is gonna happen, but ladies and gentlemen, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because that's gonna do it for our show tonight. Thank you all for watching K.O.W Friday Night Fights. If you want to watch more K.O.W content, whether it's Friday Night Fights or Sunday Showdown, you're going to want to watch it right here on the Purple Sherman's YouTube channel. See you all Sunday for Sunday's Showdown.